This week, 70% of Canadian millennials say plants are the new meat. Penn Jillette explains to Joe Rogan why he's an ethical vegan. Pornhub joins the fight against plastic pollution. And presidential candidates Andrew Yang and Kamala Harris say meat is destroying the planet. All this and more on Live Kindly's weekly vegan news. If you're new to our channel, you can subscribe by clicking the leaf icon in the bottom right corner of the video. Click the bell icon to turn on notifications, and please be sure to like and comment below. According to a new poll by Angus Reid, 95% of Canadians are familiar with plant-based meat products. But it's the younger generations, those between 18 and 34, who really believe in the power of plants.
Would you like to try a burger made with plants?
Plants.
It's delicious, and I am a kid, so if I like it...
70% say the plant-based movement isn't going anywhere, especially when it comes to vegan meat. Out of all Canadian meat eaters, 22% said they would like to reduce their intake. Between the ages of 18 and 34, this percentage rises to 39%. There appears to be a considerable generational divide, says Angus Reid. Canada isn't alone. Around the world, young people's attitudes toward food are shifting. In the US, a 2018 study revealed that nearly 80% of millennials regularly eat vegan meat. In Sweden, 30% of millennials are eating more plant-based foods to reduce their carbon footprint. In the UK, 66% of millennials and Gen Zers believe the vegan movement is set to keep growing. Vegan Game of Thrones star Jerome Flynn appears in a new animal rights documentary called Hogwood, a modern horror story. Produced by British animal rights group Viva, the film looks at common practices of factory farms. It draws heavily from a recent campaign against industrial pig farm Hogwood in Warwickshire. The exposé shows farm workers striking pigs with metal riding crops and leaving dead animals in piles to rot. The National Farmers Union's assurance scheme, Red Tractor, has now suspended the farm certificate. Tesco, the UK's largest supermarket chain, cut ties with the farm as a result of the footage.
This is the film the meat industry doesn't want you to see.
After seeing the horrendous conditions and animal abuse that is happening behind Hogwood's walls, I had to do something, Flynn said. The pigs of Hogwood aren't just meat products. They are sensitive, emotionally aware beings just like us, and they deserve better than this. Viva founder and director Juliette Galatly hopes the documentary will raise awareness about what goes on in the meat industry. Each day, consumers are being lied to.
The fact that giant corporations put their names to it and pretend that it's okay. Somebody has to go in and show the truth. People have a right to know where their food's coming from.
Through clever marketing and misleading packaging, we are constantly reassured that we have some of the highest welfare standards in the world, she said. This simply isn't true. Coming up, Pornhub joins the fight against plastic pollution. Coming soon, apparel by Live Kindly. Sign up using the link in the description to get 10% off your first order. Penn Jillette recently appeared on a podcast episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. He told the host that while he originally gave up animal products for his health, he is now also a vegan for ethical reasons. He explained that he was very clear in his book that he was not ditching meat and dairy for animal welfare reasons.
I became plant-based, vegan, for health reasons. And I wrote in my book, I wrote a lot of stuff about I am an unethical vegan. I'm not doing this for any sort of lack of animal cruelty, nothing, strictly health.
Presto, How I Made Over 100 Pounds Disappear and Other Magical Tales was published in 2016. It has since inspired other stars to go vegan, including filmmaker Kevin Smith. But shortly after the book was released, Jillette began to feel empathy for animals. And he says it all has to do with his gut microbiota.
And this has happened to a lot of friends of mine who changed that. After whatever it takes, and people are guessing like 3 months, 4 months of no animal products, those little critters eating shit in your guts die that like the meat stuff, and they're not giving that feedback loop. And I just found a real emotional change where all of a sudden I went, I don't want to be part of that, of the suffering.
102 countries have voted to protect sharks and rays. The proposal passed at the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, and it will strengthen protections for 18 threatened species, some of which are hunted for their meat and their fins. Protected species include mako sharks and rhino rays. The former has nearly disappeared completely from the Mediterranean Ocean.
Known as the cheetah of the ocean for their speed, the species was recently listed as endangered after a huge decrease in population. The shark is still fished for food in both the US and Japan.
Numbers are also falling in the Atlantic, Northern Pacific, and Indian Oceans. The latter is the most threatened family of marine fish. Ali Hood is the Director of Conservation at Shark Trust. She told the BBC, mako are highly valued for their meat and fins. Decades of unrestricted overfishing, particularly on the high seas, has led to significant population declines. She said the proposal is critical for ensuring that international trade is held to sustainable levels, prompting urgently needed catch limits and improving traceability. The largest porn site in the world, Pornhub, has joined the fight against plastic pollution. That's right, opening the incognito tab on your browser late at night is now also a chance to help clean up the oceans. The Dirtiest Porn Ever features Leo Lulu, one of the website's top amateur outdoor couples, having sex on one of the most polluted beaches in the world, according to the trailer. Plastic pollution obscures the couple as they're doing the deed. A cleaning crew clears the trash throughout the film, so there's no missing the final throes of passion for the planet. Ocean pollution has grown to become one of the most significant global issues of our lifetime, says Pornhub Vice President Corey Price, and it's only getting worse. That's why it's imperative that we use our platform to raise awareness and inspire change, not just for the time being, but for generations to come. We're dirty here at Pornhub, but that doesn't mean our beaches need to be. Pornhub made the Dirtiest Porn Ever in collaboration with Ocean Polymers, a nonprofit that aims to clean up the waterways. It will do that with OP1, a 60-meter tanker equipped with the technology to collect and process trash. The adult film website will make a donation to Ocean Polymers for each view. It isn't the site's first environmentally focused campaign. The site launched another campaign this year called Be Sexual, complete with voiceovers from adult entertainment stars.
Dante Cole.
Hello, I am Lars. I'll give you sweetest massage.
Hi, Lars. I'm Daisy.
Domino Presley.
That's just a little extra something between the legs. Want to see how it works?
The new video channel is rife with bee porn videos. For every view of the bee porn, Pornhub donates to bee protecting organizations like Operation Honeybee and the Center for Honeybee Research. Coming up, presidential candidates Andrew Yang and Kamala Harris say meat is destroying the planet. Kroger, the biggest grocery store chain in the US, is launching dedicated vegan meat sections. 60 stores across Denver, Indiana, and Illinois will introduce 3-foot sections of vegan meat sold next to the real thing. According to the grocery store, the trial is to see how well vegan meat sells when merchandised next to traditional meat. Research shows that the majority of customers who buy vegan meat are actually omnivores. We are confident that this test will demonstrate that plant-based meat sales will increase even more when consumers have easier access to them, said Julie Emmett, Senior Director of Retail Partnerships for the Plant-Based Foods Association. The trade organization, which represents 160 vegan food brands, teamed up with Kroger for the launch. Beyond Meat became the first vegan brand to sell its products next to meat with the launch of the Beyond Burger in 2016. The burger outsold beef in some stores. IKEA is removing single-use plastic from its cafes. The global furniture store began phasing out disposable plastics, replacing them with plastic-free alternatives this month. It has introduced wooden cutlery, cups, bowls, plates, and paper straws.
Made from materials from renewable sources. A range that is much more in tune with Mother Nature.
To-go coffee cups, typically lined with a fossil fuel-based waterproof seal, now feature a sugar cane coating. The store sourced all of its materials from sustainable suppliers, and all paper going forward will be certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. The move is part of IKEA's goal of eliminating all single-use plastic by 2020. The People and Planet Positive sustainability strategy adds the target of using only recycled or renewable raw materials by 2030. American DJ and producer Diplo recently attended the Los Angeles premiere of the documentary The Game Changers. He shared clips of the film on his Instagram stories, telling his fans to be vegan. The Game Changers is the highly anticipated documentary, executively produced by director James Cameron, and directed by Academy Award winner Luis C. Hoyos. Executive producers also include Formula One race car driver Lewis Hamilton, action stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan, and tennis legend Novak Djokovic. Diplo shared clips from a segment of the film that highlights the benefits to erectile function on a plant-based diet. Athletes appear with a physician who monitored the strength of their erections while asleep, pointing to notable improvements when abstaining from meat. I'd love to put Viagra out of business, just by spreading the word on plant-based eating, Cameron said last April. Democratic presidential candidates Andrew Yang and Kamala Harris believe Americans need to cut down on their meat consumption for the environment. They shared their views during CNN's town hall on the climate crisis. Harris said that although she does enjoy the occasional cheeseburger, the U.S. government needs to create incentives for Americans to make more environmentally friendly decisions with their food.
But there has to be also what we do in terms of creating incentives that we will eat in a healthy way, that we will encourage moderation, and that we will be educated about the effect of our eating habits on our environment.
Harris has released a $100 trillion climate plan. She aims to make the U.S. a carbon-neutral economy by 2045. The plan, which she says is about putting people first, centers on carbon-neutral electricity and zero-emission transportation. Yang agrees with Harris. He said that going vegetarian is good for the environment and for overall health.
It's good for the environment, it's good for your health if you eat less meat. Certainly meat is an extraordinarily expensive thing to produce from an environmental sustainability point of view. So I think it would be healthy on both an individual and a societal level for us to move in that direction.
Yang supports Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal. He also proposes a constitutional amendment to make it the government's responsibility to safeguard and protect our environment for future generations. That's it for today. What do you think about the presidential candidate's view on meat consumption? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll see you again next week for Live Kindly's weekly vegan news.